Hello, everyone. This is News Now from the Belmont Journal and our weekly segment with Franklin Tucker, editor of the Belmontonian, and I'm your host, Mike Crowley. Today we're outside Gregory's House of Pizza in Belmont Town Center, and I understand that Franklin has some breaking news for us.
And that's right. We find the Belmont Education Association, which has all the educators in town, have reached contracts on all 4 units. Each unit is a different type of educator. Unit A is teachers, and then you have another one for secretaries, for paralegals, and assistants, and district directors. A contract has been signed.
Let me just say really quick, Franklin, I am on the school committee, and I am not the source for your story.
No, you're not. There is an agreement, and it will have to be ratified by the membership, but after a pretty contentious, more than a year of negotiations that saw a lot of public displays by the union.
So, Franklin, I want to ask your sense of did the union get what it wanted?
Well, what I've heard from at least 2 members of the union is that they got what they wanted in terms of pay, which was around 2.5% a year, or in that range. The one thing that they really found contentious was insurance and the split for that. I believe.
And what happened there, Franklin?
I believe the split is now going to be 80-20, or something in that manner. We still don't have all the details. This just came out last night, and next week we'll have more in terms of what the teachers and the other educators are going to either agree or not to agree on this contract.
Okay, so is that it for this story then?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so next up, let's talk about town meeting. A recap of what happened this week.
That's right. This week we had 2 meetings, Monday and Tuesday. Most of it was taken up by Community Preservation Act requests, such as finishing Town Field and doing research and design for new Payson Park.
Was there anything controversial about any of these?
There wasn't really controversial. Tommy Olson, who runs the Belmont Music Festival, and that is done over at Payson Park, tried to table the Payson Park design request because she felt like she wasn't involved with the process. She's run the festival for 30 years. She felt that they need to really come to her to have a complete view of that park and how that can be done. It was defeated pretty easily. But there was another one, and it had to do with the Benton Library. It was an emergency request, so this didn't go through the entire process. And maybe that's why there was a lot more questions about what was happening with the Benton Library. The chimney fell down in February, I believe, January or February. They asked for an emergency, 2 emergency requests, more than they expect to be paid, to pay for these repairs.
So $150,000 for the chimney repair.
That's right.
And then $20,000 for
pointing of the walls.
Yeah.
There were a number of people who said, "Look, this is while it is a historic building, it is old. We're going to see more and more requests. Maybe this is the time to rethink of what we can do with this asset in town." And there were some people who thought maybe it could be sold, and then we could use the proceeds to go to the library, to the main library. But that didn't go much. That didn't go far.
Didn't agree with that by a wide margin.
Wide margin. No.
All right. So anything else? Well, there was the fuel tank.
That's right. Fuel tanks over at the town yard, where the DPW is. The decision was to place these 2 new fuel tanks underground, even though a lot of the analysis said it would be better if they were above ground. It was a little bit of a surprise for a lot of meeting members who didn't know anything about this, who just heard about it at town meeting, to hear that there was going to be so many limitations on the discussion that was being made for that article. And there wasn't going to be talk about a possible letter for a lawsuit if the tanks were above ground. There was not going to be debate above or below ground. This was just going to be a very straightforward article. And basically, people just went like, everybody threw their hands up. It was like,
but Franklin, people clearly had strong feelings about some of these things, including Roy Epstein, uh, who's one of the
selectmen,
yes,
select board members. Yes, and also you heard from the capital budget committee who voted against this article, and Anne Marie Mahoney who basically did the first analysis and did the proposal for last year to put them underground, had some very choice words to say about the process and some of the people who were supporting underground, and basically saying that they're not, they were disingenuous with their arguments.
But all in all, I think town meeting is exhausted with the issue.
There's a great phrase that somebody used in the Atlantic Monthly, and he called it, this country is right now, we have an exhausted middle. We have two activists, we have a conservative activism and we have liberal activism, but the vast majority of the people are just exhausted with everything. And so was Belmont town meeting.
All right, so town meeting continues on Monday with actual voting on the budget.
That's right, and that's going to be, and that's I think is not going to be as contentious, just like the CPA. It goes through a more than 3/4 of a year process. It's very open. People know exactly where the money is going to. There's no hidden agendas or anything like that. It's pretty much been debated, since the beginning of January. So people know where the money is and know how much the money is going to be spent.
One more important article that will be discussed on Monday is the article that creates a new skating rink and playing fields building committee.
That's right. It is something of well, there's a lot to go with that.
Right.
It will pass. We will have a building committee. It's just how that building committee is going to promote the building of the rink. Will they ask for a quick vote, like in November?
Yeah.
Or will the select board say, we know that the library is going to be on the ballot in November, why don't we separate these two? Or maybe bring them together. It's going to be very interesting after this vote.
So that's not been decided yet.
That is going to be decided in late August.
All right. So lastly, sports.
Sports, yes. We had a historic win for boys lacrosse. They had their very first home playoff victory, 8-7 over Peabody, and it was historic. It was the first playoff victory also for the head coach, who's been around for a while. They did have to go to the number one team over at St. John's Prep, and they had a difficult time in their next game against St. John's Prep. They lost 15-0, but still a successful year. You can't say that it wasn't. We have the boys tennis team, which is going into it will be quarterfinals, and it will be here at home, and it'll be Monday or Tuesday. Go see that. Friday today, boys rugby will be in the state semifinals against St. John's Prep, and who they've beaten before. And if they are successful, they will join the girls next Saturday at Curry College for the state finals.
All right, Franklin. Well, thank you so much. That's it for this week. And if you'd like to see more of Franklin's reporting, please visit Belmontonian.com, and we will see you next time.